Remake Harry, you look amazing. Like, we haven't seen you in 21 years and you look like this. Stunning.
Thanks, yeah. That's not all though. Watch this.
Oh, all right. Okay. Wait.
Send it back. There you go. What's going on?
Hey, original Harry.
Hey, Jim. Oh, you're here.
I don't know why we keep him around. Like, we've got you now.
Yeah, and I'm awesome. And my controls work, unlike old mate over there. What do you mean? I said I rule and my controls work, unlike old mate over there, which is you. My controls work.
Where's he go? Is he trying to come to us?
Maybe. What? Hang on. What? Hang on. Tank controls, eh? Whatever. Watch this. Dunk your head. What? Dunk your head in the toilet. I can stray. See? I can stray. Oh! I'm gonna dunk your head in the toilet. Just wait there. Not even stray! G'day, I'm Harry and welcome to the Loot Drop. Today we'll teach you how to play Destiny 2, drop a bunch of barely news, but first, I'm coming out the gate swinging with this one. Ready? Remakes are easy money. What's better than playing an engaging, unique and innovative game? Remembering the time you played the engaging, unique and innovative game. Remakes don't need to work half as hard in their marketing to convince you that a game is good. It was already good. They just need you to remember that. But are all remakes worthwhile? Is it a good thing that video game developers keep drawing from the deep, deep well of nostalgia? What makes a remake actually worthwhile? Before I dive deep into remakes, it's important to make a distinction between a remaster, a reboot, and a remake. A remaster is an old game with a graphical update, and quality of life adjustments like improved controls. A reboot is a game where they use established characters, but change the setting and context. As if they let me do this. And a remake is a blend between a reboot and a remaster. They're built from the ground up for new platforms with modern graphics and gameplay like a reboot, but they still stick to the original game's story and levels. But when a remake's worthwhile? To me, they need to do three things. 1, include quality of life updates if necessary. Like, imagine if the Resident Evil 2 remake was visually updated but still had those clunky movement controls. It'd be unplayable. 2, have an updated aesthetic for newer consoles and hardware. 3, some new content, maybe some unfinished, unreleased content from the original development of the game. Adding a 4th, only remake something old. If your game came out within the last decade, maybe just let it sit for a bit longer before jumping on that remake train. The thing that makes remakes worthwhile to me is the updated design approach to how games play now. Sometimes the way a game plays is too entrenched in the tropes of the time and feels a bit dated. Like these days, basic turn-based combat feels kind of slow and lame. So when Final Fantasy VII Remake was like, we're not doing turn-based combat, I chucked my reading glasses in the bin and slipped on my fingerless button-mashing gaming gloves. Now, they didn't just chuck fans of the original game in the bin too. They also included an option to turn on classic combat, which is closer to the turn-based combat that JRPG fans have, for whatever reason, really latched onto. And that makes a remake so worthwhile. Good remakes have to know what to keep and what to chuck away, and what to improve upon. Next, an updated aesthetic. Like, I don't necessarily mean that a game only has to look way better, but sometimes a beloved character's design can change. Take Link from Link's Awakening. Massive update. Huge. Astronomical. I'm not even talking about his update from low-res pixel art to glorious high-definition 3D model. I don't know if you remember this, but in the original, dude wasn't even walking around with a sword in his hand. If you press the sword button, it'd appear while walking around, but it was gone. And in the remake, he walks around with a sword. Bellissimo. Chef's kiss. Point 3. Chuck some cool new stuff in for us. Maybe some content that had to be cut from the original, or just some brand new stuff that you couldn't include because of hardware limitations. Metroid Samus Returns used the same story and settings and blah blah from the original game, but then they're like, nah, let Samus violently backhand her enemies when they attack. They didn't have that in the Game Boy version, but now it's a mainstay of the series. Actually, maybe stop remastering and remaking old Metroids. Focus on Metroid Prime 4, please. Lastly, remake old games. Like, actually old ones. Absence makes the heart grow fonder after all. The Last of Us is guilty of having so many remakes and remasters that the title is starting to feel ironic. Like Final Fantasy. There's 16 of them. The best remakes are the ones that only exist on older consoles that are hard to find or play. Live Alive was a JRPG that was only released in Japan in 1994. The 2022 remake got an English translation, a graphical update, and extra content, and most importantly, it became way more accessible. Remakes are a way of preserving games for new audiences. It's like when archaeologists unearth a painting that's trillions of years old and they get an expert to restore it. A new audience can appreciate it and it doesn't get lost in the sands of time. Another remake I'm looking forward to. Ubisoft, please don't ruin Prince of Persia. So, quality of life updates, updated visuals, new content, and an old enough game. I think they're the 4 jewels to set upon the crown of a worthwhile remake. Did I leave anything out? Let us know and we'll remake this episode next year with additional content. Never played Destiny 2? But you've seen Destiny 2 Lightfall and you can't wait to jump in, huh? You've seen all the versions and expansions available and you just don't know where to start, right? Well, eyes up, Guardian. Here's how to buy Destiny 2 in 5 easy steps. 7. Step 1, clear out your social calendar completely. Tell your loved ones that you suffered a terrible accident, and you won't see them for a while. If possible, quit your job or apply for some kind of long service leave. Maybe pretend you're lost in the bush. What was that? Be creative. Step 2, buy Destiny 2. It's free, no money down. Step 3, now get out your wallet and buy all the expansions. They're not free. You could just buy Lightfall, but to get access to all the stories and missions from previous games, you're gonna have to buy all the expansions. Otherwise, there's gonna be that thing on the menu that you can't do, and it's gonna bug the ever-living crap out of you. What's that? Do you need the version with the annual pass? No, but you'll want it, so give them all your money. Step 5, start to wonder, what's going on? I'm confused. There are so many holes. How can I play the main storyline to catch up? You can't. It's gone. Forever. Should have played Destiny 2 before. That's it. You've bought Destiny 2 and now you're well on your way to developing an unhealthy and unfulfilling relationship with the best shooter out there. Eyes down, Guardian. Dan's my guardian.
What? No, I'm not.
My legal guardian.
I'm not.
I've done the paperwork. Now for my favourite segment where we share news too small to elaborate on, but too big to ignore. It's barely news. FromSoft have confirmed the development of an Elden Ring DLC called Shadow of the Erd Tree. It's barely news! Sony's State of Play happened last week and they showcased a bunch of games, including some PSVR 2 titles such as The Foglands and Journey to Foundation. Also, Chia got a release date of March 21st and Humanity, a dog-led puzzle game by the Tetris Effect devs, has a demo! Barely news. Diablo 4 dev livestream shared some details on their upcoming open beta, including world bosses, a couch co-op option, and strongholds, which you can conquer to enact permanent change in the world. What cape on mouth? Barely news! Pokemon Direct showed off a new sleep tracking app called Pokemon Sleep. They've done everything. They got Pokemon Smile for toothbrushing, Pokemon Go for walking. What's next? Pokemon Don't Forget to Call Your Mum. Also, new DLC for Scarlet and Violet. So, Kelly, Barely news. That's the loot drop coming out this week, and we've checked and I think it's all right, but let us know if it's not. Project Zero, Mask of the Lunar Eclipse on the Switch, and Oni, Road to the Mightiest Oni on PlayStation, PC, and Switch. This year in the loot drop, we're doing a bunch of deep dives on gaming topics, but we're a really tiny team and we want to know what you want us to look at. So send us stories, let us know about different devs you want us to interview and stuff, and we'll chuck it on the show. Bye!
What are you doing?
Jumping away.
Why are you jumping away?
Jumping away.
What is happening?
Woo!
Okay,
Woo!
we're just saying
Kangaroo!